Like they say, all good things, even Frog Week, must come to an end. Here we go. Fireworks, fireflies, frogs. Prepare for the most action-packed episode of Frog Week 2023. This is one of the most epic conclusions that I've ever had the opportunity to create. And here you get a chance to see Wellsboro. I wanted to showcase him because we were actually going to be heading back to where I rescued Wellsboro all those years ago. We were going back to Tioga and Potter counties for our annual trip. This time, it wasn't quite what you would expect though. We weren't going to do this for Frog Week. It was more so to support our hiking show for the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel, separate from the nonprofit. As you can see, Mr. Wellsboro has been a very popular name, and it's always important to me to study the habitat from where my pets came from, so this was a personal trip. One of the coolest things we got the chance to do this year in the Potter County trip was check out Reptiland, and it was a blast, guys. Check out this massive enclosure for these parakeets and these rescued birds. Look how they just look at everybody too. That's crazy. This makes me feel like everybody that keeps them's doing it wrong. Reptiland is an incredible place for reptiles and amphibians. It's accredited and it's something that the whole family can enjoy. They did not sponsor Frog Week 2023, but they truly have amazing enclosures and really beautiful animals. It's something that I think anybody watching this, if you had the opportunity, it's worth it to go and check out. Again, shout out to Reptiland, thanks for having us and being willing to answer my questions behind the scenes. Take a look at these epic drone scenes of where we stayed at Potter County. As I talk about how thankful and grateful I am to all of these sponsors, I wanted to take a moment and put everybody's logo up on the screen. Thank you for all that you've done for Frog Week 2023, and I can't thank you all enough. I'll definitely be reaching out to you all individually as time goes by after Frog Week. But again, this is the All Seasons Potter County trip preview. If you want to watch our hiking show, I strongly encourage you to, because we have some epic episodes coming out before season 3 concludes. First frog of the Potter County trip. It's a northern green frog right there. Don't shine it on him. He knows exactly where he needs to go to. If you can catch him. Oh, he's turned the other way. He's like, oh no, now they've trapped me. This episode is going to be awesome. It's something I can't wait to share with you guys. Please make sure to check out the All Seasons Hiking Show if you want to see more about our epic adventures through Pennsylvania. We had one more epic frog walk to finish the year out. We went back to Kimberly Run, and boy, did we have an experience. Rhododendron, which is also growing out here in different locations. You can see even underneath the tree, we've got I think that's a wood fern. I'm actually growing that inside as well. But these are really unique plants, like I said. I mean, it's higher elevation, so you're only going to see these in certain spots. There's probably spotted salamanders. So we have a good bit of vernal pool breeders, and I can do something here real quick. If everybody's okay, maybe we can play a quick game of guessing what frog makes what call. You guys are interested in that? berry or the bog blackberry. This is a plant that it produces literally a blackberry that grows in bogs. It's edible, it's something that you can eat. I haven't seen them growing here yet, but I mean, this is a very good location for dewberry. Again, spot where, I mean, you can kind of see it looks like it's really low, really flat. And there's a lot of, oh, there goes a wood frog. You guys see that? Yeah. All right, well, you know, I'm telling you about the habitat, and I can't believe we saw a wood frog. They feed on me.
What's he doing on top of that plant?
Trying to
Well, I mean,
stay away from AAron.
The big question is, everybody says, well, why isn't a spring peeper considered a tree frog anymore? Why was it classified as a chorus frog? For that exact reason. When I find gray tree frogs in the wild, I gotta look up usually. They're in the trees. Spring peepers are in the bushes. They're more ground dwelling than people think. They can climb. They are considered, you can still call it a tree frog, and it's correct, but they're classified as a species of frog that likes to stay more like middle level, like so sort of like our height in the bushes. So I'm gonna open my hand. He's gonna jump. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Give us some.
This is the second frog. This is the second frog to come out for the year. This looks like it's a male.
Is that juvenile or maybe an adult?
This is an adult. So this is a male spring peeper. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
That's a spring peeper. I'm gonna try to get him back to where he was going. He might jump on me. Don't go in my throat, buddy. He doesn't want to go. He wants to come with you and learn about the other frogs. He wants me to have a frog in my throat. Might as well, right? Since we missed the wood frog, we'll get the spring peeper. Oblivious to that. He's probably sitting here at the edge, yes, because he wants to hydrate, but also because he's eating a lot of these animals as they change. So amphibians go through a metamorphosis, meaning they go from a larvae to an adult, like a salamander or frog, and pond frogs, like bullfrogs and green frogs, eat them. Oh, it like disappeared. Your response.
Oh, you're calling. It's calling response.
See, they respond to that because they're trying to figure out who's the dominant male. So they're going to be calling all night now because of this.
What frog is it?
It's the northern green frog. So if anybody wants to see, we've got a juvenile American toad. It's one of the few that I've actually ever found in Kimberly Run. So it is very good, Jeremiah. See, Jeremiah listens. Can't say that about a lot of kids these days because I do a lot of these presentations, and you could just tell when I play a frog call and they ask me what bird that is. Like acid beetle, we've seen a slimy salamander, 2 toads. So it's been a pretty interesting night. But you can see the difference between the woodland creatures and another small one. That's a good sign.
Blends in pretty good.
Yeah.
But he's busy.
Well, with it being warm, they have more energy.
Hi everyone. I'm happy to report that AAron from the PA Forest and Woods and Forest is able to adopt our female American toad. From what I understand, she'll be going to a very happy and healthy home. And so here at Penn West, we are very fortunate that she's now going to this new place.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Junia, the female American toad, who is going to have an amazing life with us. She's going in the 240 plus gallon as long as she can behave with Ace. And I really can't wait to see the look on this little toad's face whenever she enters that massive enclosure. Welcome to the team, Junia. I can't wait to share you with the rest of the Woods and Forests community. Now, we weren't completely finished with rescuing and helping animals. We found this green tree frog that's not native to Pennsylvania calling and hanging out around the pond. I looked at it as a great opportunity to take this frog who volunteered to go with us on the Critter Talks. So now joining Esperanza for the remaining Critter Talks was going to be this little green tree frog. Take a look at the last Camp Harmony Critter Talk. All right, how's everybody doing this morning? That's great. So I have a whole bunch of different things to talk with you guys about. My name is AAron Capouellez. I'm the founder and president of the nonprofit PA Woods and Forests. I'm also a graduate student at IUP, and I study frogs and toads for the majority of what I actually do in college. So I brought a couple of different things that I use actually out in the field, and I'm going to share that with you today. Then I brought a few frogs with me that we're going to talk about, and I brought a plant that's very special that has a relationship with frogs, especially tree frogs. So we have a bunch of different things we're going to talk about.
Oh, hi, Aaron. I'm glad to see you back here again. I'm Debbie O'Shell, and I am the founder. And my son, Clay O'Shell, is the director of the Blair County Animal Educational Center. It used to be the Blair County Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, and we did that for 36 years. And so we transferred it over when we finished the releasing the wildlife to the wild. And so now we're educating college students and anyone else that wants to have a class. We're mainly the lab for the St. Francis University students and their ecology lab up there in the biology department. Gonna get them ready here pretty soon to start a new class. The next semester coming up would be the fall class. And I see you brought me another little tree frog. We also opened up the reptile room again and have expanded it a little bit. We have a tree frog out there, and now he's going to have a mate. And the one that we have out there has been recovering and from being in the wild and dehydrated a lot. So we've got him up and nourished, and we have another little straggler here, so we're going to put them together and see how they do. Nothing should be housed separate when you got another one there that needs a mate also. And I also have a red slider, or I believe it's a yellow slider that's been brought to me, a very small, young one. And we seem to get a lot of those types of turtles. So we have some geckos out there. We have the pogona, we have the corn snake, and we've just been opening up, going to start doing our crickets and our cockroaches here to help cut down on the cost, because we are a nonprofit. We survive strictly on donations from the public, not just monetary, which we get very little of, but we're in great need. We need volunteers. We also need like towels with holes in them. We're not picky. Cleaning solutions. And we also have online under Blair County Animal Educational Center a wish list. If everybody could go to there and just give one item, it would be extremely helpful to us. I'm glad to be working with you. I'm very proud of Aaron with what he's done with his studies so far and everything he's done with the toads, and I'm here to help.
All right, guys, just in case the audio doesn't work from the new microphones that I'm testing out, I just wanted to do a quick rundown and say this vernal pool right here, it does look, in fact, like the tadpoles are in here. I walked up here just a little bit and saw them swimming, like, see they're hopping in there. You can kind of see the water rippling. There are newts, but there are also tadpoles. Probably less in here or fewer in here, but they are going to survive, and I'm super excited about that. But if we walk down here a little bit more and we start to look, there's even water up to here. You can see all the jewelweed, some daisies. But if we walk over here to vernal pool number 1, it's crazy coming back here, you know, whenever you were here in February, how different it looks. But this is truly more of a wetland or wet like stream here or something. I don't know, but for this pool of water, there are definitely tadpoles that we saw that were diving in, and there's newts. So I do believe that we were 1-0 so far. Not only do I think some of the tadpoles that are remaining are going to survive, but I think some of the tadpoles that have already changed over into baby toads have survived. So I don't know, I think that they're in a really good spot. This year, the vernal pools are deep. I mean, we're looking at probably about 18 inches of water in there. So if they were born in this vernal pool, their chances of success are very, very, very high. There's green frogs and newts though, and that's kind of the ultimate predator. But to just give a conclusion on this area, we won't be able to come back up here for a while because they're going to be doing more construction. I could see the newts in there. I saw the green frogs hopping in, but there are tadpoles. There are definitely tadpoles in here that I saw taking off and swimming away. They're very big, so they must have been eating good. And those are all American toad tadpoles. So very excited, guys. Very excited. Well, guys, this vernal pool, there were tadpoles, and of course the water looks like it's pretty deep. So I assume they're still in here. We did move some out of here just in case. We have like an assurance population or insurance population, something like that. But these guys already have, some of them have already made it out. So let's check on the other one. Wow. Well, I'd say the cattails have really grown in here. There is still water. I don't see any tadpoles, but that doesn't mean that... Oh, frog jumped in. Hard to say. Hard to say if they all survived or if some of them survived. This pool had the most predators. There's green frogs and bullfrogs, so it's hard to say if they survived, but I'd like to think some of them were able to get out. We have a green frog. Hey buddy, it's a male green frog, look at that. And I heard spring peepers. Just out here cruising around. I want to give a special thanks to Debbie and Blair County Educational Center for taking in that green tree frog after all of the critter talks. I'm so happy that he got a good home along with that toad with 3 legs and the green tree frog we found last year. This is the first Frog Week that I've been able to showcase the results, whether the tadpoles survived or they didn't. You got a chance to see in various locations that the tadpoles were able to make it out. And of course at the school, the green frogs not only were able to reproduce, but they're thriving as well. At the house, it's a little bit of the same. The American toad tadpoles are in the pond, metamorphosizing and coming out, and the wood frog tadpoles are doing the exact same thing. Here is proof that these American toad tadpoles at the pond are getting legs and getting out of the water. It's an amazing opportunity to see whenever these animals are successful and they're actually reproducing. And then their offspring are able to get out of the water and hopefully start the next cycle. That's exactly what we want to see for a 7-year American toad wild breeding program. But let's not forget about the wood frog tadpoles. Shout out to them. They've actually been in this artificial pool since March. It's unprecedented that these guys are still there, but they're eating well. All of the mosquito larvae and microorganisms in the water, you should see how fat these wood frog tadpoles are. That's only going to mean their success later on in life. I'm so excited to say some of these guys have been metamorphosizing as well and getting out of the water. But not only that, we had a chance to monitor the weather as all of this was happening with our trusty weather station from the Ambient Weather Network. We've also invested in a rain barrel, but that is for a future project, so we won't get too much into that. I've also started pollinator houses, these solitary bees. I'm specifically talking about the leafcutter bee. It made its debut as a target species for PA Woods and Forests just this week, as we approved it in the last board meeting this past Friday. I'm so thankful to be working with them as a pollinator and a food source. American toads and wood frogs are both generalists, and they definitely eat ants and bees, so they'll provide a food source for the wild American toads and wood frogs, but at the same time pollinate all of our wildlife areas that we're building for these animals and these insects. And I also have a special surprise for you. Check this out. So this is another wildlife corridor right next to where my pools are. You see the pine trees and the wood that's stacked. So the frogs and toads move freely from over there where our pond and my pools are, and they come up here. They make the trip, come the whole way up here, and this is where they also lay eggs and where they've ended up before too. So it's a pretty neat thing to think about, that there's a wildlife corridor that has enabled these animals to survive. Even though there's fish, just like at the pond, the toads are still reproducing here. And there's the bullfrogs that you guys have seen all throughout the year. They also make their way up here. And supposedly there's green frogs too. So, not sure yet about the wood frogs. We'll have to see those in the spring if they're up here. But it's a really good sign. Alright, we have the second population now of eastern gray tree frogs in Cambria County. It took a lot of effort meeting some new people and planning a couple days ahead. This is a multi-day project trying to catch these guys calling, which you can hear in the background, and then to actually have a visual of the animal. So really incredible to see these guys somewhere where they're supposed to not exist. There you go, buddy. Why don't you go on the tree? Yeah, go on the tree, that's it. Yeah. Oh, come on now, you can't like me that much. Come on, buddy, come on. There you go, yeah, there you go, buddy, there you go. That's awesome. We did it, you guys. We found the second population of eastern gray tree frogs in Cambria County, and I'm so happy. And we've also made a lot of new friends and frog watchers along the way. So I can't wait to work with these guys in Frog Week 2024. I wanted to take this opportunity to invite you to check out our pet care show. If you've enjoyed the content featuring Esperanza or even some of my other pets, they're going to be featured in here. I'll showcase how I take care of them, give you care tips for your own animals, and show a lot of awesome content feeding and taking care of my pets. I love sharing my animals, and I hope that you'll join us in watching the finale for Season 3, and you'll continue to follow us into Season 4. I can't wait to share all of these guys with you. But let's not forget about the podcast. You know, I hope that you guys will continue to follow Frog Week and you guys will watch it, and hopefully check out some of the other shows as well, because you could see Drew and Amelia on the podcast. You could see Drew, I guess, in Frog Week 2023 and Amelia in Frog Week 2022. And hopefully we'll have more opportunities to get them on screen. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and I'm really thankful that you guys wanted to watch Frog Week and support it to help it to get to 5 years. If you followed me over the last 5 years, then you would know of my promise that I made to my female American toad, Ace. I wanted to build her the greatest American toad enclosure possible. And this is because she has been such an inspiration to me. Her story of overcoming all of the obstacles that she had to face, with parasites trying to kill her, prolapses, and even a seizure. This toad has been through so much, and my promise was to give her the best life possible. And now that we've got the parasite situation figured out, and I've got the enclosure, I'm getting ready to deliver that promise. Imagine trying to tell a story with the absence of your main character for the last 5 years. Woods and Forests Media has had to endure this with the absence of Ace being in anything meaningful, but she's not going to be alone in this enclosure and this story. Junia, the female American toad who you met earlier, the purple pitcher plant, Esther, the female wood frog, and even Mr. Wellsboro is going to make an appearance in this enclosure and be a part of this story. But let's not forget, this is Ace's enclosure, this is her story, and I can't wait to show you the main character of Woods and Forests Media making her return inside this enclosure. So get ready and check out the blog if you want to read about this story coming up. How you guys doing? Good? That's awesome. Yeah, like you said, my name is AAron Capouellez, and I'm actually the president of the nonprofit PA Woods and Forests. We focus on all kinds of wildlife conservation, mostly frogs and toads, carnivorous plants, invertebrates. So we have a bunch of different things that we prioritize. We've been able to accomplish a lot with a project called Frog Week. It's similar to Shark Week, but it's focused on primarily the amphibians of western and central Pennsylvania. So how many of you guys have seen like Animal Planet or National Geographic documentaries where there's guys out there that are showing you the animals? So that's a lot of what you could expect. That's a project that comes out yearly, and it's going to come out again July 31st to August 6th. So at the end of this, we can talk about that if you have some questions. As this season comes to a conclusion, I am so happy for these frogs and toads who made it through another field season. I'm so happy that they're going to get the opportunity to begin to prepare for brumation. Even though this is a sad time because we know the frogs and toads are going to leave us for a few months, it's necessary. They've earned their rest to not be hunted and chased, to actually take a break, take a breath, and get some rest. And you know it, as soon as they come back awake, it all begins again. Thank you for watching Frog Week 2023. This has easily been the most memorable Frog Week out of all 5. I'm so grateful for everybody who made this year so special. I can't wait to get out there and start filming for Frog Week 2024. But before that, please check out the website for PA Woods and Forests and see all the cool things going on with the nonprofit. And I'm also inviting you to check out our shows for the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel. Please guys, check them out, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share for more awesome content. Thanks.